Hey, this is Jess with Jess Reviews Reviews, in which I pick a random object in my house, I review it, and then I look at the Amazon ratings to see how my review compares to theirs. Today I'm going to be talking about the Alvababy cloth diapers. Um, but also I'm going to be talking about cloth diapers in general, because when I got started looking into cloth diapers, I couldn't find the information that I wanted. It seemed like it was either way too complicated and too in-depth or just advertising a specific brand. So I'm going to try and make the video I wish someone had made that I had found and keep things simple and to the point. So I decided to look into cloth diapering before I had my baby because I just felt like if I could reuse a diaper, I would prefer that to going through a ton of disposables. It seemed like a way to save some money. It just made sense to me intellectually. And so I did some casual research into what a cloth diaper was. I discovered that there's several different types. There's an all-in-one that has a flap like built into it. And so the whole diaper goes on and the whole diaper comes off, and that's it. You wash it, the whole thing. There are types with pockets and liners, and there are types that are basically just like pieces of fabric that you carefully wrap around the baby and pin closed, which seemed like a real no-go for me. And then there are types that have like an inner diaper and an outer diaper that sits on top. Anyway, after hearing all that, I was like, of course I want the all-in-one diapers. Sign me up. I don't want to have to do any more work than I need to do. Um, However, the other thing I noticed was that these diapers were very, very, very expensive, like 10 to 20 to $30 even a diaper. And the fancy brands in particular, you're looking at spending $300 to $600 to get set up with cloth diapers, which seemed way too much for me. And it makes it really hard because you, especially if you've never cloth diapered before, you don't really know if you're going to like it. And so it feels incredibly wasteful, like coming from a place of wanting to save money with cloth diapers, to say, I'm going to risk spending that amount of money. And then what if it doesn't work? Um, and so instead of trying to buy things new, I went to Facebook Marketplace. And what I found was someone who was giving away like 60 cloth diapers, all from random brands. And they were all pocket and liner diapers. But I was like, you know what? It's the best way to try cloth diapering. I will take all of them. And so all of my cloth diapers are from very random brands. Most of them are from Alba Baby. And I have learned a lot. They're also all pocket and liner diapers, which I've actually come to really appreciate. There were a few all-in-one diapers in the batch. But when I actually looked at the diaper, it just was so bulky. Like you have a diaper and then you have two flaps inside, one that attaches to one side and one to the other. And it was just so big and so clunky. I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So I actually really appreciate the pocket and liner system. Um, it has a liner inside, and so when the diaper is dirty, you pull out the liner, and when after you've washed the diapers, you put the liner back in. So I found that to be not as much work as it sounds. Overall, it's actually been a really smooth process. I really like my cloth diapering system. Um, and I don't have a ton of complaints with it. So a few other notes about cloth diapers. So most cloth diapers that you'll find have a lot of snaps on them like this. And so they can be adjusted for the size of your baby. So they can adjust up and down. So like this one has several layers. I actually have it two of the smallest because my baby's still pretty small, but it has several layers of height. And then this you wrap around and you close like you would a normal disposable diaper to the level that your baby needs to tighten it appropriately. And so it ends up being just like a normal diaper. And they are a little bit bigger than disposables. I think it's actually kind of adorable. Your baby has a cute, chonky little butt. And I I did not do newborn cloth diapers. I did use disposables when my baby was brand new newborn because these, although they get pretty small, they don't quite get to newborn size. And I didn't want to have to get an entirely different set of cloth diapers just for the like month that my baby was a newborn. And as soon as my baby outgrew newborn disposables, I switched to the smallest. I snapped these down to their smallest snaps. So um, just like kind of lowered the height as much as possible, and it fit on my baby just fine. And it has been on my baby at that size for about 2.5 months. And it's only just now that I'm thinking we might have to do what I'm calling the great resnapping of the diapers because we have left them snapped to this size, and now we're going to have to change all of them. The great resnapping is upon us. I've been really happy with the adjustability of these. Um, Also like between the height and this kind of level, the leg holes have been about right. Um, we haven't really suffered more blowouts in these than we have in a disposable diaper, which we do use a disposable diaper overnight, and I will explain why in a minute. Um, but we also use the disposables, like I said, for the newborns, and I don't feel that these are like better or worse for blowouts than the disposables. I think blowouts are going to happen no matter what you do. So, what really matters in a cloth diaper? Like I said, I have a lot of different brands. I have the Alvababy. I have a brand here called La Madre Oso, like the mother bear, and they're basically the same deal. But like something this one has that something I would look out for when I was looking at these, if I was looking to buy some. These have like a little snap on the inside. This actually rubs against my baby's stomach and leaves a little mark. And I don't know how comfortable that is for him. So I would be aware of anything that's like interior to the cloth diapers. I've also found that some of the cloth diapers have a darker interior. I actually really like this. It just doesn't stain. Now, obviously, like the white ones, I have been able to get pretty clean. I have been using like a once a month mix-in called like RLR. I need to look it up. I will link to it in the show notes. What was this? The show, the video. So I will link to this. Look somewhere near this video. There will be a link to what I've been putting in the laundry once a month with these to help keep them clean. But I do like have some peace of mind with these, that they're not going to stain. These are Mikosi bottoms, a brand I have looked up online and have yet to locate. So don't go looking for those. I also have some, geez, what are these? Nikki's diapers, which seems to have been a very popular brand that is now out of business from what I can tell. At least that's what Reddit seems to have agreed upon. And my personal favorite are these elf diapers. These are special because they do have the snaps to adjust the size, but then they have Velcro. Wow, it's like breezy days when we get to the elf diapers. We only have 5 of these. Um, but I don't know that I want more of them. Just be aware if you do get something with Velcro, when you pull these out of the washer and the dryer, if you are washing 5 of these at the same time, they become, no matter what you do, a like tarantula mess of just like many-legged diapers all stuck to each other and to themselves, and the Velcro's just like they're just all in a clump. I can't imagine trying to wash a whole batch of these things. But I do find them to be like a lovely treat to myself. I'm like, I'm putting on a Velcro right now. How exciting. No snaps to snap for mom right now. It is all Velcro, baby. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'd want more of them to be honest with you, but I do like them quite a bit. They're like a good flavoring, a good salt, a seasoning for your collection of diapers. But let's go back to the Alba Baby because I really wanted to talk about them because I have mostly Alba Baby and they are one of the cheapest brands you can find. And as I um, mentioned, it is a rough investment. And so I feel like if you do want to get them new, and to be honest, I really recommend if you have any uncertainty about it, don't get them new. Just go on Facebook Marketplace. There's a rich resale market for these things, and I think that you will find a lot of options there. Um, and I just, in general, am a big fan of trying to reuse and cut costs where I can. So that was a huge help to me and a lot of peace of mind when I started cloth diapering. But if you would like to buy them new, Alva Baby is kind of your cheapest option for these insert diapers with the pocket. Um, I believe the one I'm going to be looking at on Amazon a little bit later on is like $25 right now for six of them. And considering that other cloth diaper brands can be just like three times that much, that is very reasonable. So I guess what I want to talk about is it worth the savings to get something like Alba Baby, which is considered a cheaper brand? Um, the fit of the Alba Baby diaper, I have no issue with. I find the adjustability to be really good. The snaps are really sturdy. I have had no issues with the fit, the adjustability quality of the diaper itself. The inserts are fine. They're easy to stuff. They don't have any weird thingamajigs on the inside that are going to rub on baby's skin. The only problem, and it is a problem, uh, is that they leak through the front. And I've done some research on this because I have found this to be true. I just have been pouring through diaper after diaper brand here. All of them are a little bit leaky. Now, I do think these are all the cheaper diapers, so maybe if you get something more expensive, like one of those huge big brands like Bum Genius, or I think Assembly is the other one that I can think of, or Grovia. Maybe those leak less, but every single one of these diapers has a leaky front. And maybe my son just pees an insane amount of pee, and that's like the reason why I'm having issues. Or maybe I'm using the wrong kind of insert. I don't know, but I have a million kinds of inserts too, again, from this grab bag of cloth diapers I got, and I haven't noticed much difference between the inserts. So, basically what it comes down to is that there's a ticking time clock between the time when baby pees and this thing starts to saturate. And then it starts to get like his clothes will get wet on the outside. So you just have to be really on top of changing these. I also like, I don't sweat it too much if I need to change his pants. To me, it's not a huge deal, but it is something to be aware of, and it is different from a disposable diaper. And I think what it comes down to is that no matter what you do, a disposable diaper has like actual chemicals and stuff in it that are going to be absorbent. And these are just not the same. And so I don't know if it's fair to have the same expectations of a cloth diaper that I would of a disposable in that way. So for that reason, like I don't hate the Alva Baby. Honestly, I'm really, really grateful for all of these diapers because like I said, they were really great to have just to even learn about cloth diapering. And I actually really like the pocket and liner system way better than I thought I would. It's been really easy. I I will actually talk about my diaper pail situation in the next video because I have that worked out as well. I use a normal pail with a cloth liner, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Um, but yeah, these are pretty easy to wash. When I wash them, I do a rinse and spin cycle, and then I do a normal cycle with detergent. And then once a month, I put in this additional like thing that helps keep them clean. And then I just toss them in the dryer. Some people air dry all of their diapers. It's just like that's I'm a very minimal effort cloth diaperer, so I just put mine in the dryer. I haven't had any issues with that, except for the aforementioned Velcro monster of massive proportions. But yeah, that has been my experience. If I were going to guess the Amazon ratings of the Alba Baby, considering what a value it is, I mean, even with leaking problems, I would bet that they're probably sitting around a 4-star review. But let's take a look. Okay, I have found the Alva Baby listing. This is kind of the basic listing that you're going to see when you look at Alva Baby. This one is on a deal right now, but you can see they're still not cheap, but they are not so expensive either. It's actually doing really well at a 4.6. I kind of want to go see what the reviews are saying here. Great value, this person says, but perhaps not the best cloth diaper out there. I think that that is, to be honest, the 100% truth. Um, there's a ton of different types of cloth diapers. This is what I found as well. It was so incredibly confusing. The snaps are fantastic for sizing. Yes. No cloth diaper is as absorbent as a disposable, so you need to be prepared to change it more frequently. Again, that's what I found as well. Um, the leaks happen. This person is in some nice comparisons here with how these work. That's nice of them. I love when people are so helpful. This person says the outer shell is fully diaper waterproof, so wet diapers don't leak. That is not true, but I'm happy for them. Occasional blowout, yes, that happens. Works great, inexpensive, comes with the inserts. So, oh, this is actually interesting. This person says that the inserts that come with this diaper hold 4 ounces of liquid. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe my son is a more than 4 ounce peer. Oh, so you can also put in two inserts. Maybe I should try that actually. Um, so maybe that's the answer to the problem is just adding more inserts to the Alba babies. Okay, this is actually really helpful to me. See, maybe I should have read these reviews sooner. Ah, get what you pay for, but they work for home. I feel that way too. Like I sometimes do when we're out, I will occasionally put him in a disposable if I know we're gonna be out for a minute, just because of the leaks, you know? We don't like the leaks. Lots of leaks. This person also had to wait before these fit. Yeah, they're not gonna fit on the newborns. So, and they've added an insert and they're still having leaks. I could see that happening. Yeah. Anyway, um, all right. 9 months in, slightly disappointed. Absorb order odors. I haven't had that problem. Maybe it's the added the thing I'm putting in the wash that's helping. Not as reliable and clean as disposable. Like I said, this is this is the exchange that you kind of have to decide on is are you willing to change the diapers a little bit more? Are you willing to accept maybe a little bit more leaks? If so, I think these are a really great choice. And as someone brand new to cloth diapering who had a very low threshold for giving up, um, these are working for me. And so I agree with all the negative reviews. Um, I think I might try putting an extra liner in mine, to be honest. If anyone has any advice or any questions, leave me a comment. But I think the Alva Baby has been a good choice for me. Again, I did get them for free, and you can't argue with free. I strongly recommend um, saving money where you can with cloth diapers, whether that's getting something that has is pre-used, getting something cheaper, or even getting something for free if you can. But yeah, that is my opinion. And good luck out there. Like I said, leave me a comment if you have any thoughts. Thanks.